Hey guys, and how about we watch Dragonzord vs Mechagodzilla Death Battle. So I have to say, not too much investment in this one, but at the same time, I'm pretty confident and pretty passionate about who I think will win, Mechagodzilla. Frankly, just much more powerful. Both are fairly slow from what I've seen, from what they are shown doing, but the Power Rangers did prove themselves to be pretty fast in their two previous battles. Ultimately, though, just the fact that Mechagodzilla can stand up to, and I think sometimes pretty cleanly defeat, Godzilla itself, that sort of speaks volumes right there. I think just based off the power output, Mechagodzilla should win, but, you know, it's not up to me. It's up to these guys, and I might get it right, I might get it wrong. I don't know, but either way, let's start our show.
Fun fact, did you know 66% of men lose their hair by age 35? Well, maybe not so fun, but Hims is here to help as the one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. It's real easy to get started. Death Battle viewers can get a trial month of Hims for just $5 right now while supplies last. See website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds from a typical pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/deathbattle. That's forhims.com/deathbattle. forhims.com/deathbattle.
Bum, bum, bum.
Whether they are benevolent deities or harbingers of doom, dragons are freaking awesome.
Hell yeah! Especially the robot kind, like the Dragonzord, piloted by the Green Power Ranger.
And Kiryu, the dangerous and mysterious Mechagodzilla.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
After being stuck in a garbage can for 10,000 years, the evil Rita Repulsa was understandably pretty pissed. So, she decided to destroy the world. Hey, I'd be mad too, but that's a hell of a hot take.
And so Earth's guardian, Zordon, put a plan into motion. 5 heroic teenagers would defend the planet with their Dinozords. They were the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
You'd think a bunch of kids in spandex would have a tough time fighting an ancient witch, but they got used to taking out her weekly monsters pretty quick. Like a normal 9 to 5, just with giant robots.
But Rita had a plan. If her creatures could not defeat the heroes, she would create her own ranger.
The Green Ranger, along with his robo-reptile, the Dragonzord.
At 90 meters tall and nearly 200 tons, the Dragonzord proved a match for the other Rangers, even their Megazord.
To be honest, it feels like it should be even heavier, but
like
whatever.
finger missiles. It's like flicking the gunk from under your nails at people, but it explodes.
Why do you have gunk under your fingers?
To flick at people. Duh. That fin isn't just a cool headpiece, it shoots energy waves. And if D-Zord feels like stomping around, watch out for literally shocking earthquakes.
Despite such long-range weaponry, the Dragonzord seems best suited to fighting up close with its strong grappling arms and highly flexible drill tail. This drill is so impressive, it cut through a cocoon prison even the supposedly superior Megazord couldn't escape.
No, not gonna lie, that
5 Zords in one.
that arsenal list is very, very tiny.
The Dragonzord's pilot has even bested the other Rangers in combat on his own. Luckily, they helped him break free from Rita's control, and he eagerly joined their fight against the forces of evil. This is Tommy Oliver.
Tommy wasn't just some rando off the street. This guy is an expert martial artist and super dedicated to ranger work. So much so, he kept wearing the tights for years and even mentored other teams. He summons and controls the Dragonzord with the Dragon Dagger by playing it like a flute. Wait, are all knives secretly flutes?
They've
No.
never, not been flutes.
Oh my god, really? Wait a minute, why didn't this come up in poultry science class?
Don't like music?
How stupid do you think I am? Chickens love music! Ah! God, this is what they mean by a sharp note!
As the Green Ranger, Tommy draws
Why?
power from a universe-spanning energy called the Morphin Grid.
His grid connection powers the Dragonzord too. He's a superhero and a battery.
Though like most other Zords, enough damage can disrupt the Dragonzord's connection to the Morphin Grid and take it down for good.
But good luck trying. The Dragonzord is super strong. It made short work of Rita's monsters and even beat the Megazord, which has an average power output of 50,000 megavolts. That's the same kind of power as a nuclear warhead.
The Megazord was strong enough to punch a 10,000-ton monster about 40 meters off the ground, a punch worth 90 million newtons of force.
The Big D can even fly past escape velocity and reach the moon. That's over 30 times the speed of sound.
Well, that's pretty good.
The Dragonzord is also extremely durable, possibly more so than any other individual Zord of its generation. The Megazord once threw it into this mountain, which shattered. By comparing the known size of Dragonzord's foot to said mountain and applying the energy necessary for violent fragmentation against rock, we determined the destructive force to be worth more than 350 tons of TNT.
Damn! The big dragon held its own.
Alright, very complicated numbers. I'm gonna have to figure that stuff out.
To be its better in every way.
While it's unlikely the Dragonzord could actually defeat the Thunder Megazord on its own, it certainly stands a chance with its ultimate form.
That's right, it's got a semi-Megazord mode of its own. While each Power Ranger has their own Zord, there's been a few times when a Ranger has called on other Zords, not to pilot directly, just to combine with theirs.
And so, Tommy can summon the Mastodon, Triceratops, and Saber-Tooth Tiger Zords to form Dragonzord Fighting Mode. Or Battle Mode. Or Dragon Megazord. He never really settled on a name.
Well, it's mighty powerful and turns its tail into a drill spear that kills basically everything in one shot. Seriously, it never lost a battle against anything Rita threw at it. So, why don't they always use that?
And Rita's magic is devastating enough to obliterate an entire floating island.
Sadly, Tommy would lose his control of the Dragonzord when he lost his powers to his one weakness. A magic candle! Oh no! Look out for slowly dripping wax!
But powers or no powers, Tommy kept fighting the good fight, eventually regaining his original Morphin abilities with the Master Morpher. Perhaps one day, the Dragonzord will rise again. Dragonzord!
Okay then.
The year was 1954, less than a decade after Japan was bombarded with the first atomic weapons. The nuclear age had begun.
But one of these atomic weapons woke something up. Godzilla! This ginormous radioactive kaiju decimated Japan. Things looked pretty bad until a scientist deployed a bomb strong enough to kill the monster. The Oxygen Destroyer, which does exactly what it says on the tin.
Right. Dr. Serizawa's bomb could specifically target and destroy oxygen molecules, liquefying most living tissue. This weapon was so dangerous, Serizawa feared its very existence threatened the entire human race.
So he went down martyr style, taking out Godzilla and all knowledge of his weird bomb. All that remained was Godzilla's bones.
Probably for the best. Still, a weapon like that might have come in handy when, a few decades later, another Godzilla showed up.
Yeah.
Surprise, bitches!
Turns out, Japan had been the target of many different types of kaiju for years, and had developed an anti-monster defense force to combat them.
Unfortunately, their super powerful maser cannons barely even scratched this new Godzilla. Just look at him. Didn't even care.
Like the Oxygen Destroyer before, Japan needed a new weapon to combat Godzilla. They gathered their foremost experts in the fields of robotics, microwaves, low-temperature physics, and someone whose work can only be described as cyber necromancy. Together, these leading scientists developed a revolutionary weapon like nothing before it.
Mechagodzilla!
Yeah, I have to say, the
technically
Godzilla
this
series
isn't
is
the
weird
first
because I
Mechagodzilla
really
we've
have no
seen,
idea
but it's
who to
certainly
consider the
deadliest
hero.
and the most unique.
Or not
So much
hero,
so, it was
the
given
main
its own
protagonist,
distinct
I
name.
guess.
Kiryu, a combination of kanji meaning machine
It just changes
and
all the
dragon.
time.
Hear you? Sounds lame. I'll stick with Mechagodzilla, thank you. Standing 60 meters tall and weighing 40,000 tons with full gear.
See, like that makes more sense.
All sorts of weapons. Rocket launchers, rail cannons, grappling wires,
36,000 makes more
battering-ram
sense.
jetpack, and even retractable Assassin's Creed blades with an extra zap. And just like Zilla himself, Mecha G fires laser beams from his mouth. This twin maser cannon is twice as powerful as the maser guns that successfully killed other non-Godzilla giant monsters.
Kiryu is certainly skilled in melee combat and is surprisingly athletic for its size.
Look at it go!
However, with its enormous arsenal, it is far better suited to long-range strikes. Like with its ultimate weapon, the Absolute Zero Cannon.
Damn! So it's like a super ice beam?
As the name suggests, it unequivocally brings its target's temperature to absolute zero, or 0 Kelvin. But this beam isn't just freezing its target, it's literally destroying all of its existing energy at once. A practically impossible feat of physics. This results in crushing the entire target from within at an atomic level.
Oh my
Well, that's,
God.
nice.
Zilla!
Speaking of which, Kiryu is actually built around the skeletal remains of the original Godzilla, giving him all the size and strength of the King of the Monsters.
So it's kinda like they're pulling off a robotic Weekend at Bernie's with Old Man Godzilla's bones? Amazing.
Kiryu also utilizes biochemical and molecular-based DNA computers, which are actually based on real-life experimental technology. This infused Godzilla's own DNA to improve operation speeds and give Kiryu subconscious motor control, sort of a simple AI, which lets it perform some limited actions on its own. Exactly like my own Cyber Goose. With the skeleton of a
Cyber
goose
Goose.
and some extra parts I had lying around, I say he's a masterpiece of modern science.
Well, he's got two heads now, so do we call him a goose or a geese?
It's a goose. Just one goose.
But two heads make two goose, therefore a geese.
It's a goose!
Oh yeah, this version's much better.
Kiryu is piloted by Lieutenant Akane Yashiro, a longtime member of the Anti-Megalosaurus Force, and your standard self-loathing anime protagonist.
She thinks she's worthless because she has no parents and accidentally got some of her friends killed. So now nobody really likes her, which is, real bummer. But hey, cheer up, lady! You get to fight giant lizards with a big-ass killer robot! That's fucking awesome!
Akane
That is
doesn't
pretty
technically
good.
pilot from within Kiryu, but rather from a nearby jet plane, the AC-3 White Heron, which can fly over 900 kilometers per hour. Under Akane's control, Kiryu has battled Godzilla several times.
It
and
theoretically
always
could not
come out on
outrun
top.
the Dragonzord.
But plot twist, Akane isn't Mechagodzilla's only pilot. It turns out there's someone else behind the controls. A ghost in the machine.
What?
It's the spirit of the original Godzilla.
What?
Surprise again, bitches! It's Ghost Robot.
The DNA
What?
mind of Godzilla can wrestle the mech from Akane at any point, causing her to lose complete control.
Giving the king another chance to trash Japan again. Always fun to relive the good old days.
Though it is strongly implied Akane and Kiryu came to an understanding of sorts, realizing that they were each shadows of a tragic past struggling to find purpose in life.
Like college roommates.
Regardless
What?
of who is steering the ship,
Wait,
Kiryu
hold
is an
on.
extremely tough machine.
What
He's
exactly?
lifted and thrown Godzilla around like a sack of potatoes, and this version of the Big G weighed 25,000 tons.
Kiryu actually survived being at the epicenter of its own Absolute Zero blast, and multiple direct hits from Godzilla's atomic breath attack.
Which is even strong enough to overpower the Absolute Zero.
Kiryu is even fast enough to dodge the atomic breath, which, based on this instance where an older Mechagodzilla forced the beam into space, likely travels faster than Mach 2 speeds. Kiryu itself
Okay.
could also fly from Alaska to the middle of Russia while carrying another kaiju in just a few minutes. Given how quickly Kiryu's fuel burns in flight, in order to make it, Kiryu was likely flying around Mach 40.
But that's sadly the Mecha Monster's biggest flaw. Its battery life is worse than the goddamn Nintendo Switch.
While the White Heron's
Nintendo
Kiryu's
Switch
microwave
isn't that
tech to
bad.
recharge Kiryu on the fly,
It's not
the
that
full
bad.
charge only runs for about 2 hours at most. And using more intensive features like jet flight and the Absolute Zero Cannon drains it much, much faster. In fact, just one use of the Absolute Zero drains 40%.
But who cares when he's so badass he can tear you apart in just a few minutes? With all this power at his metal fingertips, this is one epic machine. No man or beast stands a chance against the might of Mechagodzilla.
桐生お前にはわかるよねさあそろそろ行こうか
I mean, alright,
the
yeah, I
Mechagodzilla
think
set, and
he's
we run
gonna
the
win.
game through all possibilities.
I did not know
But
anything about
I've
the
got a
comics, so
kaiju-sized hunger that only
those
boy
comics
can
easily just
satisfy.
By now, you've
The comics
probably heard of
easily
Blue Apron,
shortened the gap,
leading meal kit delivery
like, by a
service in
ton.
the U.S.
Choose your meals each
Jeez.
week, get the ingredients
Alright,
delivered
well-
to your doorstep, and whip up a meal using the easy-to-follow directions provided.
At least it
Blue
made
Apron
it
offers 3
easier
flexible plans,
to
whether it
determine.
be meals for 2, for 4, or the WW Freestyle plan. You have control over which meals you receive each week, and each delivery comes with easy-to-follow cooking instructions and all the ingredients you need. So say goodbye to those last-minute dashes to the grocery store. With Blue Apron's seasonally inspired and chef-curated recipes, you're not just making meals, you're making memories.
My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and delicious meals with my own hands.
Yeah,
I really need to try
Absolute
it
Zero
out.
Cannon is going
It's
to be the
pretty
ending
nice
for
coming
this,
home knowing
almost
I'll have a delicious
100%. I
meal I can
think we
whip
might
up
even
with
have
ease.
Godzilla
And as a
show
thanks
up
to
in
you
this.
For watching this show,
It's
we have a deal
Ghost,
you'd be
but,
crazy to
you
say
know.
no to. To start making delicious, brag-worthy meals at home without the hassle, try Blue Apron.
Check out this week's menu and get $60 off at blueapron.com/battle.
They really need to
That's
fix that lip syncing, just for that line, that new line. They never
A
made
better
new
way to
lip sync
cook.
for Boomstick.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
I so miss the stories for these 3D battles. This is the second one in a row where it literally just starts.
Ha! Nice work, Dragonzord! Let's crush this tin can!
Alright. Oh no, that's way too early. You can't be using that this soon.
Oh no, you don't!
Oh, it didn't activate. Okay. That seems like a terrible idea. Why would you do that? That's how you die. Why would you... Is she okay? Oh, this is Godzilla now, isn't it? This is Godzilla now. Oh boy.
This isn't working. We need more power! Come together!
Well,
Buddy mode, powered up and ready for action! Let's finish this!
oh boy.
Keep going, we've got this!
Oh no.
Oh no! Pull back, pull back!
Let go of the spear. Welp. That's GG. That is an absolute GG.
Oh man, talk about a close one.
Finding the victor here wasn't easy. Both have performed amazing feats of strength and durability, and both wielded massive arsenals of unbelievable devastation.
Akane definitely proved herself fighting Godzilla a few times, though Tommy did have way more experience piloting mechs and fighting monsters for years and years. Plus, he's a friggin' superhero.
But while skill and experience are incredibly important, it doesn't always triumph over raw power.
That's what she said.
Compared to Kiryu, the Dragonzord was rather lightweight, with far less impressive feats of strength.
Yeah, well,
It was only like
Dragonzord
200
could match the
tons.
Megazord, who could lift a 10,000-ton monster? Mechagodzilla tossed around a 25,000-ton Godzilla, more than double the weight.
Yeah.
And G certainly had the advantage up close.
And also from a distance. Kiryu's arsenal was overall better suited to long-range combat thanks to a wider assortment of missile and beam weapons. Simply put, Kiryu possessed more options for controlling and ending this fight.
Like how they both had instant kill moves, but only one of those depended on getting right up close. Plus, while fighting mode's max power wasn't too clear, it could compete with the Thunder Megazord and Rita herself.
Remember how Rita blew up an island? Easily one of the most impressive destruction feats in the Ranger's early years. Based on this image, we can measure the exact scale of
You
the
can?
island.
To blow that
fair
shit
enough.
up, you'd need a blast of at least 2.6 gigatons of TNT. So Dragonzord's Ultra Drill Stab was likely in the same ballpark in terms of power output.
Alright.
This pales in comparison to the Absolute Zero Cannon. Here, it's destroying the real-life Prince Hotel New Tower and several surrounding buildings. Using the known scale of these structures, the energy output to destroy them must equal 128 teratons of TNT.
I mean, to be fair, it destroys them on a molecular
Over
level.
49,000 times more powerful.
But yeah.
And don't forget, Mechagodzilla once survived being in the middle of this blast. There was no way Dragonzord could put down this tough son of a Zilla.
Dragonzord's arsenal and Tommy's skills certainly made this an intense match, but they were clearly outclassed by Kiryu's awesome power and unwavering durability.
I'm just glad they didn't let the fight drag on.
The winner is Kiryu.
Mechagodzilla!
Hey, thanks
All
for
right.
watching this episode.
Again,
If you
I
want
wish
the
they
battle
had
music for
more of a
yourself, you can get it by
beginning
clicking
to the
link
fight.
in the description below. And check out on the right side of the screen next
Yeah.
to Ben. You can watch more stuff.
Oh boy. Huh. Wasn't this a 1 minute melee or something like that? No, it was a DBX, wasn't it? Regardless, 1 minute melee or DBX, it was really, really bad. They were chasing after a Hello Kitty, weren't they? Or I might be thinking of a slightly wrong one, but I remember that being a thing. Regardless, yeah, interesting. I obviously agree with the outcome, although I feel like the Absolute Zero Cannon, there was an instance where it just blew something up, but for the most part, destroying those buildings, is that really an energy output feat? It seems more like it literally just destroyed it on a molecular level. Is that really? I don't know. Is that, like, really impressive? Again, in a destruction manner. It's impressive just the fact that it happened at all, but I don't know if it's comparable to anything that the Dragonzord has done. Not as in, it's not as impressive. I just mean it's hard to compare the two against each other. But regardless, even on top of that, there were a lot of other advantages that Mechagodzilla had. Anyway, I enjoyed this one. I'm sort of looking forward to the next one. I remember Ben saying at one point he didn't want Sasuke in a death battle. Good to know he's doing it anyway. If you want to see more videos by me in the future, then you can subscribe, but otherwise, I'll just see all of you in the next video. Oh, that's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet your other friend.